Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his mother's home in Hendersonville. He was just 15 years old at the time. Still no sign of him to this day. Our Harry Sullivan joins us now. Harry, where does the investigation stand?
Well, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for any information in the case. Sebastian's dad says the search for Sebastian's gone as far as Ohio, Kentucky, even Mississippi. Many of the top agencies were involved from the jump, including the FBI. The search covered nearly a 5-mile radius around his home, roughly 2,000 people covering 44,000 acres. Rogers would be 17 now. Today, his family still asking the public to stay aware. This is his mother's message to anyone that may know something about the case.
Give my son the opportunity to come home to his family and to his life and his future. And if there's anything holding you back, don't let it. And I just pray to God that he's looking over him and that he's keeping him safe until we can find him.
His parents say when Sebastian went missing, he didn't take any clothes, no shoes, no money, didn't have a cell phone. His mother only reported a small yellow flashlight missing that day. Over the last year, the investigation, Proudfoot says there have been times where she's really gotten her hopes up, but no tips have come in yet that are significant enough to help them find her son. Casey, this remains an active investigation. The Amber Alert for the now 17-year-old remains in effect 2 years to the day.
All right, Harry, thanks.
A 15-year-old boy goes to bed in his own home, and by morning, he's gone. No broken windows, no signs of forced entry, no clear footprints leading away. Just a quiet suburban house in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and a single question that investigators still cannot answer. According to authorities, Sebastian Rogers, a teenager with autism, was last confirmed to be home on the night of February 25th, 2024. His mother says she heard him inside his room. Everything seemed normal, but when morning came, his room was empty. No confirmed sightings, no clear evidence of what happened, and despite one of the most extensive searches in the region, nothing that explains how a teenager could simply vanish. So what really happened inside that house that night? And how does someone disappear without leaving a trace? And if you're drawn to real cases that remain unresolved, stay with this story to the end and decide for yourself what makes the most sense. Sebastian Rogers wasn't just another missing person case. He was a teenager navigating life with autism, a detail that investigators have consistently acknowledged as important when considering his behavior, routines, and possible vulnerabilities. By all public accounts, Sebastian lived a relatively structured life. Structure mattered. Routine mattered. Predictability mattered. And that's exactly what makes this case so unsettling, because nothing about his disappearance fits neatly into a predictable pattern. According to investigators and public reporting, the day before he vanished appeared ordinary. He spent time with his mother, running errands, going out, engaging in normal daily activities. There was no widely reported sign of distress, no confirmed argument, no clear indication that something was about to go wrong. That normalcy is part of the mystery, because when cases begin without warning signs, investigators are often left with fewer starting points, and fewer starting points mean fewer answers. That night, Sebastian went to his room. At some point later, according to his mother's account referenced in official summaries, a loud noise was heard, described as a bang. When she called out to him, she reportedly received a response. That moment matters because it suggests that, at least at that point, Sebastian was still inside the house, still safe, still accounted for. But after that, the timeline becomes quiet. No confirmed activity, no verified movement, no indication of what happened next. And by the next morning, when his mother went to wake him for school, Sebastian was gone. Not missing from the neighborhood, not wandering nearby. Gone. And here's where the case takes its first major turn. Authorities later clarified that while he was reported missing on February 26th, the last confirmed time he was seen was actually the night before. That gap between what was heard And what can be proven is where the mystery begins to deepen. Because in that window of time, something happened. But what? When a teenager disappears, especially under unclear circumstances, the response is immediate. And in this case, it was massive. According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, law enforcement agencies launched an extensive search operation covering miles of terrain. Search teams combed through neighborhoods. They checked nearby woods, water sources, and structures. They used helicopters, drones, thermal imaging, and K-9 units. At one point, authorities reported that thousands of miles were covered in search efforts. And yet, nothing. No confirmed trail, no confirmed direction, no confirmed sightings. That absence of evidence is not just frustrating, it's critical, because in most missing person cases, even minimal evidence can establish direction, a footprint, a camera capture, a discarded item, something. But here, investigators publicly stated that they had very few clues pointing to where Sebastian might have gone. That doesn't mean there's no evidence. It means the evidence that exists has not led to clear answers. Authorities also conducted extensive digital analysis, and they reviewed surveillance footage from homes and businesses. They examined cell phone data. They analyzed Sebastian's online activity, including gaming systems. Vehicles seen in the area were identified and accounted for with the help of federal agencies. And still, no breakthrough. At one point, a landfill in Kentucky was searched as a precautionary measure. The result? No evidence connected to Sebastian. That search, while unsuccessful, highlights something important. Investigators were not ruling anything out. And that brings us to one of the most carefully worded positions in this case. Authorities have stated that they have no proof that a crime occurred, but they also have no proof that one did not. That distinction matters because it keeps every possibility on the table. And when every possibility remains open, the case becomes harder to solve. But here's where things become even more complicated, because while investigators continue working quietly behind the scenes, public speculation has been anything but quiet. When a case lacks clear answers, theories begin to fill the gaps. And in the case of Sebastian Rogers, there is no shortage of them. Some believe he may have left the house on his own. This theory is often discussed because of his autism, with people suggesting he may have wandered or left without fully understanding the risk. But there are problems with that idea. The scale of the search makes it difficult to explain how someone could leave on foot and leave no trace at all, no confirmed sightings, no confirmed direction of travel, no evidence placing him anywhere outside that home. And others believe there may have been another person involved, but investigators have not publicly confirmed evidence supporting that. And without confirmed evidence, that theory remains exactly what it is, a theory. Then there are questions about the timeline inside the house. The reported bang, the response from Sebastian, the hours that followed. Those details have been discussed widely online. But it's important to be clear. Public discussion is not the same as verified evidence. Authorities have warned that misinformation can interfere with investigations, and in high-profile cases like this, speculation can spread faster than facts. What is confirmed is this: there have been no verified sightings of Sebastian since that night. The case remains active, and investigators continue to follow leads even years later. But which leads to the most difficult reality of this case. Time has passed, but the mystery has not. And that raises a question that continues to haunt both investigators and the public. If Sebastian left that house, where did he go? And if he didn't leave on his own, then what really happened inside that home? Today, the case of Sebastian Rogers remains unresolved. A teenager is still missing. A family is still waiting. and investigators are still searching for answers that have not yet been found. Cases like this don't just disappear, they stay open in files, in communities, and in the minds of people trying to understand what went wrong. Because someone, somewhere, may still know something, and sometimes the smallest detail can change everything. So now the question turns to you. So what do you think happened to Sebastian Rogers? Was this a case of a quiet disappearance, or something more complex hidden beneath the surface? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might connect a detail others have missed. If you found this case compelling, consider sharing it, because awareness can matter. And if you want more carefully researched, respectful, true crime documentaries, subscribe and stay with this channel. Because some stories deserve to be remembered until they are finally understood.